What's up, guys? John CC here. Welcome to another week of trading and to the fourth episode of The Open, a weekly series hosted by me every Monday for the weekly Open, where we break down and discuss technical analysis of Bitcoin and what we can expect for the coming week. In this week's episode, we'll talk about the weekly count with the potential fourth wave correction being in, seeing from that we had a huge massive impulse last night. We will go over the 4-hour, look at what we can expect for the coming week in terms of the 4-hour chart and lower time frames. We'll do a complete Elliott Wave count from the Bitcoin bottom at 11 cents, and then we'll talk about Bitcoin dominance. So a lot of material to cover. Let's just jump right into things. I've been saying for quite a while now, guys, that I think that the fourth wave of this correction is in. I was kind of on the fence. My bias shifted a bunch of times, but I mean, from what we saw yesterday, it's clear that the fourth wave correction is in. So taking a look at the weekly on Coinbase, all right, we had the bottom here in December. We had the wave 1 coming out, wave 2 correction. Then we had a 3, 4, 5. This is an extension, so we have the 3 ending up here. We have the 4 coming down here, and then it looks like we are now trying to complete our fifth leg of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is why I believe that our target is going to be around 16 to 20K by the end of this year. So this is my target. I've said this for quite a while now. We were kind of on the fence about whether or not that this is an ongoing wave 4, but since we had an impulsive move out, it looks like the 4 is in and we're starting the fifth leg. Real quick, I want to reference the Twitter post that I made on Saturday. I thought that the next play was going to be short. So then ideally the scenarios that I was looking at were the following. 1, the correction here would have been a WXY with the fourth wave not ending here and us completing some sort of flat for this X wave. But it looks like this was the right scenario all along. This was my primary, but I kept changing bias just because I wasn't sure if whether or not we were still correcting based upon the fact that we had kind of a lower movement of volume. But it looks like this is actually the correct count. We had the wave 4 correcting here as an ABC, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This move up, I wasn't sure whether or not this was an ABC, but clearly on this 4-hour, it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-wave move for the wave 1. We had a kind of a complex correction for this wave 2, and what looked to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forming for this start of the third leg of this new impulse. So my plan originally was going to be to short this. I ended up taking a long here. I had this long last night before going to bed. It was a pretty good position, but my personal trading bias is I always close positions before I go to sleep. So I closed it right before the pump. I closed around 10,900 and ETH around 225. Yeah, 225. So I missed the entire move, but hey guys, that's trading. That's the way it works. So let's not dwell too much upon this. Let's just kind of move forward and see what we're looking at for the short term. Market looks incredibly bullish at the moment. If we take a look at the 4-hour, let's jump onto MEX right here. So I'm counting this now with the wave 4 ending here. Let's take a small look into the volume right now. As we can see, yeah, volume actually remained flat. It looked like it was decreasing, but it remained flat for this time being, and then all of a sudden we got to push up. And we saw it increasing steadily, but I wasn't so convinced. But I did have the site target to come up to the 11K mark, which I was planning to short when I woke up. And we just blasted right through, so it is what it is. So at the current moment, it looks to me like what we're seeing right now is an extension. And this would be the wave 5, this entire complex that we're forming right now. What we have right here is a clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. And it makes the most sense as this is probably going to be a wave 1. Now we corrected for a wave 2. We did not invalidate any structures. We had this wick. It was almost 100% retrace. But again, it's more of a wick, so it's kind of debatable. Yeah, whatever. But it looks to me like this was the 786 fib level that held up. In Elliott Wave standards, the 2-wave can retrace as long as it doesn't retrace more than 100%. It's still considered a wave 2. And we look to be forming a wave 3 right now. I don't know where it's going to end. We get the correction for the 4, and then we'll get the 5. So to count our current structure here, it looks to me like this is a 1-2 or a 1-2 depending on where you have it. Again, this is the wick. I remember this. It was kind of, I believe 15-minute candle was what we had. We had a wick down and then all of a sudden it went right back up. So it's debatable whether or not you want to count this wick in. At this point, it really doesn't matter. I believe it's going to give you the same result. So let's just count this as a 1-2. This looks like a 1-2, 3, 4, 5 to make the 3. This looks like an ABC to make a 4 as a, looks to be a running flat. And what it looks like we're in right now is a 1, 2, 3, probably going to get a correction sometime now for the 4, and to get 5. So let me just relabel this. So yeah, guys, it looks pretty clear to me that we are impulsing. This looks to me like a wave 3. And again, I have my sights targeted for this area right here to 17K, 20K top, which I've been saying for quite a while now. And with Bullish taking back control, it looks like we're on course to meet that target. And so the last thing I want to take a look on the 4-hour is the EMAs. And you're going to like, bulls are going to like what they see here. So we turn on the 50, 100, and the 200 EMAs. We see that we have broken the EMA resistances here, and we're now getting, we have the golden cross. It's pretty, it just happened right now. I see it. The 50 already crossed the 200 and the 100, and the 100, the purple line, is crossing the 50. So this is extremely bullish, guys. We are in a 4-hour, which is a pretty deep count. We have an increase in volume. We have the EMA golden cross. We have the extension here. We have this potentially forming an SR flip. So turn this to green. Guys, it's really bullish. I would be really careful with shorting right now. If you're going to short, it's probably only for a corrective move. But 17K and 20K likely is coming, which I've been calling from the beginning. And let's take a look at the weekly count, daily count on the BLX. So the reason why I remain so confident that we will hit my 17K, 20K target is because of the grand cycle Elliott Wave count. So I've loaded up the BLX Bitcoin index chart, and we're going to do the count from the absolute bottom at about a penny. You can see a clear 5 waves here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this here would be our minor wave 1. So here would be the 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So this would be our intermediate wave 1. So zooming out, this would be our primary wave 1. Here's our primary wave 2, wave 3. Let's move over. Then we have our wave 4 and our wave 5 coming up. So my prediction, guys, is that we are going to hit our 17K, 20K top. It could be a double top, but it could also be an extension. I'm not quite sure yet, but I do believe right now we are on our 5th leg. So it looks like, guys, we are starting our 5th leg of this final wave 5, our primary wave 5, our grand cycle, whatever degree you want to count it in. It looks like we're on our 5th leg. I do believe we will hit our target here, 16 to 20K. It could be a double top, but it could also be an extension. So this is what I'll be looking for if this is an extension. So we have the wave 4 ending here. We have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure where the 3 or the 4 or the 5 will end yet. So we'll just change this degree to make it look a little bit easier. But wave 4 or wave 5 could also extend. So we could do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have Bitcoin, I don't know, ending absurdly at some crazy amounts, 60K, 100K. It's possible. I don't rule it out. But me personally, I think that what the market is going to go through is a double top here. We'll finish off somewhere at 20K. Then we will correct for a wave 2. And then who knows? I really don't know at this point. But that will complete our cycle. That will complete the Grand Elliott Wave cycle from the BLX bottom. Yeah. So guys, this would be our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what I'm looking at. This is the reason why I remain confident that we are going to hit our 20K targets. After that, I'm not quite sure what happens next. You gotta just roll with the punches. But stay tuned. I will try my best to analyze. And once we get there, yeah, we'll figure it out. So for this week's episode of The Open, the last thing I want to cover is Bitcoin dominance. I am a bag holder of alts. Yes, my alts are getting wrecked. It is pretty abysmal out there. And I'm not really sure if I can say confidently that alts are going to go up anytime soon. I am playing my Bitcoin. I have spot Bitcoin, so I'm not too hurting. I am diversified, so I recommend that if you guys are only holding alts, hold some Bitcoin. It's important that you diversify a little bit and don't be 100% in all alts. We had this little drop off, which we had a small rise in some alts, but it looks like Bitcoin dominance on the daily especially is picking up more momentum. As sad as it is picking up more momentum. It looks like we're going to try and hit this double top. I'm not quite sure what will happen if we do hit this top. If we do blast through, guys, it's definitely not going to be an alt season for any time soon. But if let's say this is the correct count, we have the wave 5 ending here. Or maybe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has to be it. If this is the correct count, guys, what we will have is this being a 1, this being a 2. As long as this doesn't go over this 70% mark, I would say. Yeah, no. By the razor margin, like thinnest of margin, I think it hit 70%. As long as we don't go over the 70% mark, we're at 69% right now, and we come down for the 3, 4, 5, that could be the correction that we're looking for. This could be the A, and then we'll get a B, and then the C to go lower. But it's absolutely crucial that we do not go higher than this red line right here. If we go higher, then have some Bitcoin. It's really important to be diversified. So that's all for today's episode of The Open. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you have any suggestions, comments, or if you want to chat about it, feel free to DM me or write me on Discord, Twitter. But other than that, guys, wish you a great trading week. I think the bulls are back in town. And always remember, let the profits come to you.